afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Daily Routine. Another edition where we talk things sports, and this is going to be a bit different than past episodes because I have a special guest with me. He comes to the form of KMH, also known as Kyle.
Hey, what's up, guys?
and um and within the last hour of taping, we got news that the Mets acquired the infielder Kelly Johnson from the Atlanta Braves in exchange for Akil Morris, and this is in response to the latest slump the Mets have had. They've scored an average of less than 3 runs in the last 39 games. So what do you think of getting Kelly Johnson from Atlanta again?
I honestly think it's not a great deal, but it's a good deal because we do need the big bats, and Kelly Johnson did provide for us last year when we were in need of infielders, and then we got Juan Uribe. I think like we were talking earlier. Like, why didn't Sandy Alderson, give him a contract, in January? How come, he never got a 1 year or 2 year deal? Because I honestly think Sandy Alderson was probably like, oh, I didn't think we'd be in this bad of a situation right now. I mean, we're scoring less than 3 runs in every, 39 games. I didn't think we'd be in this bad of a slump, so we need to do something. Well, of course, your biggest bats, Duda, Wright, Darno are in the DL. They're probably not going to be back for a while. So, yeah, you definitely needed to plan ahead. And I think, with Kelly Johnson, hopefully he'll do some clutch for us.
So, but what my problem is that Kelly Johnson played such a major role down the stretch last year, hitting a game tying home run against the Nationals. He had so that he contributed with his leadership, but my problem is, why couldn't we do it back in January? So because the Mets had to give up a well regarded minor league pitcher in Akil Morris in the trade. So I have a bit of issues, but it's desperation time. The Mets are 3.5 games out of the Nationals in the National League East. They got swept in a doubleheader by Pittsburgh tonight. They're looking to avoid the sweep tonight, and let's see if Terry Collins can actually manage in crunch time and put Kelly Johnson in situations where he thrived last year.
Yeah, I've been thinking, this acquisition may be a sign that we may not be able to see Juan Lagares for some time. Because he has that left thumb ligament tear or whatever the injury was on his thumb. We might not see him for a while. Like I said, Kelly Johnson's a good bat. Not the best, but it's definitely better than what we have at this point. This happened last year. We were in this kind of a slump. And then, around July, August, around the trade deadline, that's when we had, the turning point for the season. Hopefully that will happen, but much earlier.
Yeah. And so now we turn our attention to Game 3 of the NBA Finals tonight between the Golden State Warriors and the Cleveland Cavaliers. And I said on Monday's edition, if you watch that I feel that Cleveland is done. I think they got totally overmatched by Golden State in the first 2 games. LeBron looked terrible. Tyronn Lue couldn't coach his way out of a paper bag and couldn't do anything in regards to saving the team.
Yeah, I think this is really do or die time for Cleveland. I think that they might pull something off here. I mean, with the few added days of rest, I think, Cleveland might be able to do something here. But as for Golden State, just keep doing what they're doing because they're playing a mean basketball, and they're probably going to get their second championship in a row. That's what I'm thinking. I'm going to say my prediction was Golden State in 7.
I said the same thing. I always said wrong. It should have been Golden State in 5 or whatever because the thing that separates Golden State from the rest of the pack is their incredible depth on the bench. Because Andre Iguodala has been starting form over the last several games for Golden State, and Draymond Green producing like we thought he would, especially when Steph Curry and Klay Thompson were both held in check and they still won.
Right.
Yes. And then last night was a big day for the U.S. men's national soccer team as they took down Costa Rica 4-0 in game 2 of their run in the Copa America, their first Copa America win in quite some time. And you know what? Team USA needed it.
I actually watched a little bit of the match last night. There was chemistry on the field. That's what I've been seeing. There's a lot of chemistry going on, and that's how this team has been able to score so many goals.
Yeah, and I think the big takeaway from last night's match was that Clint Dempsey was his former self again. A goal and 2 assists. He was spreading the ball around, making executions on run plays, well execution all around by Team USA, and I think that they are in great shape, or I should say much better shape than they were, let's say 2 months ago, 2 months ago, even a few days ago.
Yeah, you really gotta. It's the Team USA. I think is kind of like the 2015 Mets. I mean, they were in a huge slump earlier in the year, and now they're coming back, and now they killed Costa Rica. They didn't just beat them; they killed them.
And remember, Costa Rica was a team that was poised for a Cinderella run in the FIFA World Cup 2 years ago.
Exactly, they're just like the Nationals of soccer. I mean, they were on top for a while, but then, yeah, just.
Yep. And one final thing to talk about as the news broke this morning, Maria Sharapova has been banned for 2 years by the International Tennis Federation for doping. Ugh.
Idiot, another doper.
It says, do it, Kyle.
Wee woo.
Yeah, that you can't dope in it at all. You'll be kicked out. They're going to find out about the wrongs you did, and I think this is the end for Maria Sharapova.
Yeah, I mean, besides the doping, she's had one hell of a career. She's a 5-time Grand Slam champion. I only know her, and I'm going way back. On Nickelodeon Gas, she was featured in like almost every commercial regarding like tips to tennis. So that's how I know her. And that was like 13 years ago. And to see her like this, I'm like, oh man, another childhood hero disgraced.
Yeah, and I was wondering, and I still wonder why wasn't Venus or Serena Williams back at the time? Because they represented the U.S. Television audience, while Sharapova is a Russian native.
Right.
Yeah, but that is going to be a sign of things to come for the tennis world.
Yeah. It's like you better not do that, or you're gonna end up like Sharapova.
Yeah, you can't cheat or anything because cheaters never win. Am I correct?
Right. Was this the first time that Sharapova has been suspended?
I don't remember off the top of my head. I think she was suspended last year, but I'm not entirely sure on that front.
Okay. Yeah, if she gets one more suspension, is it kind of like what baseball does? 3 suspensions and you're out.
Something like that.
Yeah. Don't be like Henry Mejia.
Wee woo.
Yeah, we will indeed.
Yeah. And that's going to do it for this edition of Daily Routine. I hope to make more variety of types of episodes of the show with featuring more discussion and more guests. So if you like this format, let me know, and I'll see you all for the next episode.